Welcome back to the Brendan C. Adams Audio Experience. I'm Brendan C. Adams, and I am sitting here with Tina Wright of the Heel Sling. How you doing?
Good.
Yes.
Great to see you,
Great
Brandon.
to see you. We were just hanging out in Nashville for Big Inventors Live.
Yes, it was a very exciting
Was it a good time?
event. It was. Great speakers, great entrepreneurs. The energy was contagious.
Yeah, I meet a lot of people. I think we had about 250 people there, and there's something when I meet people, the energy they have and their aura, and you had that when I first met you. I'm like, Tina, there's something about you, that energy, and I love that. And we're going to talk about your product today and just how you've brought that to life, really the energy into your product. Before we get into that, where was that idea, that aha moment where you came up with this product? There's usually a problem that happens in the inventor's mind. You want to solve it. Go back to that with the Heel Sling.
Well, most of my life, I've dealt with heel slippage, whether it's in luxury shoes or, basic department store shoes. But I assumed that it was just one of those things that you dealt with. It was unavoidable. I tried all of the heel grips, everything that was on the market, and none of them ever worked for me. So fast forward about 30 years, and I get married, and I have my little girl.
Yeah.
And then as she's getting older, she's also dealing with heel slippage. So, as a mom, I can deal with it. But when it comes to your kid, you have to address the issue. So she's really the main reason that I pursue the product.
How old was your daughter at the time?
At the time, she was about 5 years old, and she was transitioning from the cute little Mary Jane shoes to the ballet flats.
Yeah.
And all of the other big girls could wear those shoes, but she would run right out of her shoe. She would trip or fall or leave the shoe behind or end up leaving both shoes behind because it was just uncomfortable. So, I realized that I had to come up with a way to keep her shoes on. So thanks to my kiddo.
So I years ago, inventor myself, I had an idea, and then, everybody asks, you have the idea, what's next? So for you, after you had the concept, you saw the problem, what was the immediate next thing you did? Did you call somebody? Like, what was your process from concept in your head, problem, to writing down on paper, to really getting that product out there?
Yeah, that's pretty comical. I wish that she were here to share some of her insights. But she was really my guinea pig.
Yeah.
When I had my daughter, I became a stay-at-home mom, and so I learned to sew. And so I understood various materials, how they would stretch, how they would either break or resist breaking. So I actually made the first of my prototypes. I tried every single material that was out there and created a strap that would go inside of the shoe. But once I finally found a version that would work, I decided to work with a patent attorney and get it patented, and then start working with manufacturers to actually manufacture the prototype.
Wait, before you got to the patent stage, I always love to hear the early prototype stages. What were you using? Random cloths, going in the store, buying these things and making your own little shop?
Almost every adhesives company from 3M to anyone else knew my name because I was sourcing whatever they had. I was calling them, asking for materials and supplies. But I used things like elastics. I used things like different types of plastics. I used various materials in terms of even fabrics. I used true leather. I used cloth. I used different weights of those. I played around with all of them to find out what would actually look good, what would function well, as what would look good in the shoe.
So once you got to that point, talk about the manufacturing side, because sometimes it's very difficult to find the right manufacturer. What was your process? Were you just calling around? And then once you did find the manufacturer, talk about that process.
Yeah, as you said, manufacturing is very difficult, especially because a lot of it isn't being done in the U.S.
It's a new concept, yeah.
Right. So the primary input that I use is not manufactured in the U.S. any longer. It's sourced from abroad, and it just didn't make sense to ship it across the sea and then have it assembled here in the U.S. So I had to find an outsourced manufacturer. And so I went to the SBA, actually, and talked with them about, who could help me with this. And they had certain resources and individuals who've sourced from either India or China or other parts of the world. And that's how I was able to find my first manufacturer. Now, there was a language barrier between us there, and that just wasn't going to work because this is a new concept, right? This is not a concept that exists in anyone's mind other than mine.
Yeah.
And so just translating the changes to them was a challenge. But we were able to find another manufacturer that we are with right now. They're an American nationalist in China.
Yeah.
And they understand English, they understand our market. And so we're able to work with them to get minute changes done and until we were able to get a final product.
Now we got the product.
Now we've got the final product.
So for people who are watching the video side of this, can you show like the product, just how it works? Because I think it's an amazing product. All the videos you have online for, male and female, but for women with a heel, just show how it works. Explain it.
Absolutely. The product comes in both black and nude. And so this is the nude version.
Yeah.
And so you've got a leather backing that has an adhesive on the backside of it. And then you have a foot pad, which is very thin. It's undetectable inside of the shoe. And so that fits within the pad portion
So
of
it kind
your
of sticks
shoe.
to it, the adhesive.
Oh, yes, the adhesive holds it down. And so your foot is then wrapped. It's cradled by the strapping.
Yeah.
Of course, this is adjustable, so there's a Velcro adjuster, so you can tighten or loosen it as you would. We say that it cradles your foot inside of your shoe, but it's kind of like a sandal. You know, you can tighten the sandal or you can loosen it, and that tightens the fit on the back of the shoe.
Well, the videos that you have, I see online, it's girls are like kicking in the air. They're like showing how like I literally can kick in the air and it'll stay to it, which is so cool. It shows how much it actually works.
Right. And what another piece of feedback that we get quite often is that it's undetectable.
Yeah.
So it's a permanent solution that goes into your shoe. You put it in one time, no more replacing heel grips or slipping or sliding. You put it in one time and it lasts the entire life of the shoe. But yes, if you kick one of your current pair of shoes, they probably will go flying off. Put the heel sling inside of it and you're secure.
So where are you selling this product now? Where can people buy it? Where are you selling it? Talk about the retail side, the distribution of the product.
Sure. Right now, we are primarily e-commerce, so we're on Amazon, or you can find it at our website, www.theheelsling.com.
Yeah.
We also are available in select Good Feet stores on the West Coast. Yeah.
That's awesome. Where do you see the future of this product? I know you have big visions of this. Talk about 5 years from now. Where do you see this product going?
Well, we have coined something called heel stabilization technology, which is very different from what's currently out on the market.
Yeah.
You know, we don't just cushion the back of the shoe. We don't just provide, quote, comfort, but we actually anchor your foot inside of your shoe, which means that your body stays biometrically the way that it should.
Yeah.
So it stabilizes your foot. So we call it heel stabilization technology.
I love that. Your own term.
Yes, our own term.
Yeah.
So where we see it is continuing to sell through e-commerce, but we'd also like to enter the medical markets as well as some of the performance markets.
I love us at Big Brand Ventures. We're always looking for products, and we get pitched thousands of products every single month. But when we saw this product, like you see the problem it's solving, but also the need in the market. There's so much potential here. And the videos, you always look at, okay, how can you show people a product so they're scrolling on their phone, they see it. It's like, I get it. The kick in the air, I go back to that. I get it. That's why I think it's going to be so successful in the things we're working on. But it's just impressive to see what you've done. And I'm curious, from when you had the concept to today, how long did it take, that whole process from patent to manufacturing to selling?
From concept, my daughter's 22 years old now, so that should give you an idea.
17 years,
several years, primarily, dealing with her. But from the time that we got the patent, which the patent approved, up until now is about 5 years.
Okay.
Until the point where we're selling online, where we're in select retail stores. It's taken about 5 years. And a lot of that has been learning. It's been a learning journey.
There are so many people out there that have an idea, and most people never do anything with it. They don't even know the next steps. As someone who had the idea, who's now selling the product, which I think they say like it's 1 in 1,000 that actually get it to the actual market. what would be your advice to them? For them, they got an idea, they want to do what you've done in their own way. What's your advice to any aspiring inventor or person with a business idea?
Well, you should know because you're you're an inventor. But I'd say if a concept won't leave you, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So as I said, I dealt with this for well over 10 years. It's been coming back to me, and it's been coming back because it occurs in my shoes. It occurs in my daughter's shoes, the heel slippage. And so the concept of how to correct this wouldn't go away. So I'd say that that's probably something within you that says that you're intended to bring this to market and continue to pursue your path, do whatever it takes to get it to market and see it through.
It's like the obsession of the problem.
Right.
It's any time I've had a problem or something that bothered me, I got obsessed on how do I solve it? And then how can I help solve it for many people? And that's what you've done with the Heel Sling. And it's very impressive. As we're wrapping up here, I always like to share with the audience, like you've done a lot of things in your life. What's your advice to anybody listening to have their own success in life? Words of wisdom, what you live by outside even the product world? What would you say that comes to mind? A couple things that's been the key to your success in life.
Yes. One of my sayings that I live by is if you can conceive it and if you believe it, you really can achieve it.
Napoleon Hill.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. That's my favorite quote, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think you quoted it at Big Brand Live.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one. And it's true. If you can conceive it and if you truly believe in it yourself, then you can achieve it.
That's so good. We need to end on that. That's really good. So for anybody listening, watching right now, where can they buy your product? Where can they check everything out for you?
Sure. They can find us at www.theheelsling.com, or they can find us on Amazon or many of the Good Feet stores on the West Coast.
Watch out. Many great things come. I'm excited to be working with you in the coming months ahead with everything with the product. Check out everything she's doing. Again, remember to conceive it and believe it, and then you can achieve it. And as always, go out there, create something great, and become unforgettable because life is too short not to. I'm Brandon T. Adams. Have a great day, everyone.